Welcome back, YouTubers. This is a review of SH Figuarts Dragon Ball Z Freeza figure. Now, this, I believe, is the second release of this figure, as it was originally released without the halo and some of the other bits in it, but I never got that one. So, let's pop her open and see what she's like. But first, the box. As you can see, pretty standard box. Shows off some of the things, a couple of action poses. There he is with Goku. Pretty simple box. A lot of the figure boxes I've gotten have been a lot more simplified than they used to be. I don't know why, but it just seems to be that figure boxes are getting more simplified these days. Anyway, standard instructions, backboard of the package, and the stand. Now, this is the first time I've opened one of these stands on camera, so one thing you'll need to get if you are either a modeler and have some nippers, or you're just an enthusiast, is you'll want to get some model cutters. These are mine. They're pretty good. It's this brand, if anyone cares. They're pretty good, but what you do is you place them here, and it makes a pretty smooth, flat cut. Not much material, and if you really feel like it, you can take a sanding stick or something and use it to remove any excess. Then dump out those and the little Y piece. And you pop them in. There's your little stand part. Clip that there. And one of the holes is already empty, though there are two other holes you can use. There you have your stand for your figure. Now, one other thing that you can do with these stands is these have holes in either side here, so you can put a second one or use another stand to support things like the accessory parts that come with this one. I'll show you it right now. This one comes with this energy beam. You can plug it in on this bit, so you can have your character firing an energy blast. Like so. Which is pretty cool, and I like these effect parts. They're very cool. Now, Freeza comes with a bunch of little bits. First, there's the main figure, as you can see. And he's got a bolt in the back to put one of the two tails. There's this extra long one, which is pretty cool. And having a tail part like this is really useful for figures that have them, because you can balance them a lot more easily with a tail. They give you another point, so it's like a tripod. However, since this character can fly and do other things, you can also make it so he's flying, just clamp him in the clamps like this, and bam, you've got a flying character. And considering how many air battles this series has, it's probably a good idea. Now, this one also comes with a halo, because Freeza died during the series, and when you're in the other world, even if you're not a good person, you get a halo to indicate your status as being quite deceased. The head you see here is the only one that has the port to do that with. All the other ones lack it for some odd reason. Kind of odd, but you know, that happens. We've got him doing the face, which is either he's been punched in the gut or he's constipated. One or the other, I've never been sure. And then we've got the one of him screaming. Both are okay and good for action poses, but this one's the one you're probably going to use for just plain display purposes. Now, he's got a second tail, which is shorter. One of the nice things about this one, though, is you can get that effect where he had part of his tail cut off. I forget what caused it in the series, but you can just pop it out, and bam, cut off tail. So not as pretty, but it does the job if you want to do that part of the show and, you know, recreate those scenes. Now, all in all, I think this figure is pretty good, and this has always been my favorite design of Freeza. Mainly because his other forms look cool, but the biggest problem with them is I'm not a fan of the pink ridged color palette. I feel that it really could be better. The design of the warriors is okay, though I'm not really a fan of the one that looks like something that James Cameron created. But that's just me. Now, he's got a bunch of extra hands and an extra set of feet, but one of the sets I want to show is this one. Pop off this hand, and you can stick on this one with the pointing finger, and there's a little clip here. Slide this on. And bam, you've got him with his death ball that he's going to fire and blow up the planet with. Now, you can also take his feet off and replace them with these more crushing toes. It's this one. It's hard to tell left from right with these things just offhand. But yeah, you can have him with these more crushing feet. So, you know, him stepping on like Son Goku's head or something. Which is a pretty good action pose if you ask me. Now, he's also got another set of hands for like energy blasts, another pointing, some just slightly cupped hands, as I'll show you in just a moment. You've got the energy blast palm like this, as you can see. So he's got a variety of different hands. As I said, these ones are slightly cupped. This one is like this, so I think it's the kind of, you know, come here finger move. There's the other palm blast hand and the fists, of course. Now, aside from that, the other bit that he comes with is a set of arms for when they're crossed. So you pop his arms off at the shoulders like this, but leave the shoulders on. Plug in each arm. There you have him with his arms crossed, which kind of looks pretty cool in my opinion. I've always felt that the ability to cross your arms like this on a figure makes them look just slightly more badass, you know, just I don't even need my hands to fight you kind of thing. Which Frieza did do in the series when he was fighting Goku initially before he went Super Saiyan. He said he could beat him without even using his hands. Now, overall, this figure is a bit small, but for the fact that it's accurate to the size, Frieza's not a huge character, that's fine. I do wish it was a little cheaper due to that, since it's not a huge figure, but he's also immensely popular, so there's downsides everywhere. Overall, I think it's a good one. The only parts I'm not wild about are some of the shoulder joint parts, but I understand that sometimes that's a necessity for, you know, posability. Plus, being able to do this pose probably means that they have to put the joint there, and as you can see, there's a little, you know, shoulder joint there and a ball joint inside. So, I mean, it's probably due to that they have to put it there. The knees are pretty standard, as you can see, double jointed, which I like. He's got, you know, your standard ball joints in the hip and legs, which make it good, and the arms have plenty of swivel points, so they're pretty good too. I like it all around. The only thing I kind of wish was that they had included some more varied facial expressions, or given us a piece we could pop out of the head here and put in the other one so we could swap the halo around. That's the only really downside I see for this figure. Otherwise, it's pretty good all in all. I'd say it's definitely the better Freeza figure of the ones I've seen, and I include the gold mode Freeza because that color palette just does not work. Purple and bright gold do not go together well. I also feel that it's a little silly, since it just feels like Freeza copied the Super Saiyan form Goku used. This form as his final form is very nice, sleek, efficient. It's pretty monotone, almost entirely white with purple accents, so there are some slight blues on the chest, legs, and in the little muscle veins. But I feel that Frieza's design as his final form here makes him look like a fast, agile, powerful fighter instead of the gaudy gold we get in the movie and the TV series. But it's up to personal taste. Overall, I'd say if you like Frieza, you should definitely pick up this version of the figure sans the old ones, because the older one I've seen, it isn't anywhere near as polished as this one, and it just looks way, way better than any of the other ones I've seen. And let me give you one last close-up shot of the figure so you can see in better detail what he looks like. Yeah, but that's the figure. Anyway, please like, subscribe, and comment below and share this video. And don't forget to ring the bell for notifications so that you can see my other uploads. And I'll see you all next time. Ciao!